think either you come out of jail a better person or a better criminal.
They got themselves there, so they should pay the price.
I think it's better like community work so that they give back to the community.
Some freedoms have to be taken away from you to realise your influence on society.
A better way to deal with young criminals would be to send them to centres that are specially for youth.
They've got to be taught that what they've done is wrong, and I guess that's really the only way to do it.
Lock up.
Lock up.
Lock up.
Lock up. Lock up.
Lock up.
Lock up.
Hi, I'm Steve Caname. Welcome to the Hack Half Hour. Tonight, we ask the question, does prison work? Each year, we're locking up more and more people. Incarceration rates are at an all-time high, and it's a pricey policy too. It costs, on average, $70,000 a year to keep someone inside. So is locking up more people the way to go? Well, tonight, in the room, we've got former inmates, victims of crime, and some people with ideas for alternatives to jail. And to take us through the discussion, a guy who spent much of the past 5 years in and out of lockup.
I'm Adrian, I'm 19. I've been in and out of institutions from about 15. I went to juvie for domestic with my dad. My dad called the police on me and the police came and they took me away. It was a shock a bit, a lot different from your school. It was like a school of bad kids. Well, I'd get out and I'd fall back in the same sort of patterns as I'd be in juvie, and there was no support networks on the outside to help me get into normal society a bit more quicker, to readapt. It makes you angrier, makes you a bit resentful, and basically it's like a school of crime. It doesn't really help you. But a lot different ball game in the adult jail. It was a mixture of crims, murderers, rapists. It was a big difference. I had to get a spoon of cement and harden up when I got in there. You get up at 8:30, you have your breakfast, you go out to the yard and you sit in the yard all day, because I was in maximum because I'm in class O, repeat violent offender, and you have short days there. You're only out for 6 hours a day and you get your dinner at 3:30. Basically really nothing to do. Yeah, it's just boring. You don't learn nothing at all. There was no support networks there for me. They didn't really try and help you. They told me when they released me, they'll go, you'll be back again. They should push for more rehabilitation. I mean, jail's not the solution, really. It makes you worse. I'm a totally different person now that I'm in rehab and I'm trying to find out who I really am.
Made a list of all people we had hard and became willing to make amends to them all.
I say jail's easier than rehab, because rehab, they open you up and you find out who you really are, and maybe you don't like that person and you've got to change, and yeah, rehab's a really hard place, but it's worth it. Definitely it's worth it.
Adrian, thanks a lot for coming in, and thanks for everyone for coming. I know you've all got plenty to say on this topic and we'll get to you soon. But Adrian, you've been released from rehab today to come on this show. How's rehab going for you so far?
Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah, I'm learning a lot of new things, and yeah, it's a lot better than a cell, isn't it?
Yeah? What are you learning so far?
Well, I'm learning how to be a normal person of society and not reoffending, and really learning about myself and, yeah, how to be a better person.
So do you think perhaps if you'd got access to those kind of drug and alcohol rehab earlier, that you may have avoided offending, may have avoided that cycle of the 5 years of in and out of prison and detention?
Yeah, definitely. I think I wouldn't even gone to jail, yeah. I think I would have skipped through it and, yeah, I wouldn't be here.
Before you went to jail, what was life like for you?
I was at a bad trot in my life. I was hanging around the wrong crowd, just drinking, drugging, you know, just the normal things you do when you're younger. And it kind of led me to go to jail, really. I was living a really destructive pattern, yeah.
Tamara, was that a bit like your life in the lead up to you going to juvenile detention?
Yeah, I just started, my parents split up and I started hanging around the streets, and then I just started going from there, and I just got used to it, and I just ended inside, and yeah, just didn't have to support all the people there for me that I needed to have, yeah.
So your parents split up, did that mean you weren't welcome at home?
No, just, well, after that no one was really around, and so I'd go out and just start stealing, you know, trying to make money, and yeah, I was the oldest of my family, so it just was like that, yeah.
So it was about survival for you?
A bit too, but a bit like I was going through, like, upset that my family had all split up, that we've all gone there in different ways, you know.
Melanie Schwartz, you're a lecturer in criminal law, but you're also working on this new Australians Prisons project, the research project. Give us a broader picture here. How many Australians are in jail or juvenile detention at the moment?
In the adult prison population, we have about just over 27,000 people in prison, and in the juvenile detention population, we've got around 850 people at the moment.
And to what degree is that figure increasing?
It's increasing. It's on the increase every year. The population is at an all-time high.
Why is that? Is it because crime's on the rise?
No, increasing crime rates, interestingly enough, is not the explanation for why our prison population is increasing. Crime rates have stayed pretty stable in the last 10 years or so, and in fact in some offences the crime rates have actually decreased, and yet our prison population is increasing and increasing, so that's not the explanation.
Aaron Tang, you're a legal aid lawyer in New South Wales. What for you is the role of prison meant to be?
The role of prison for those on sentence is generally fourfold. There's a principle of general deterrence, which is about if you send someone to prison for this particular crime, it discourages other people from committing that same crime. Specific deterrence, which is if you send someone to prison for that crime, it prevents them from committing crime during the time that they're in there and beyond. Thirdly, retribution, that prison is a punishment. And fourthly, rehabilitation. And whilst prison performs some limited role in rehabilitation, the general research would show that rehabilitation is better served in the community.
For those who've been inside, what do they see the role of prison being? Andrew?
Taking you away from your family.
So punishment?
Yeah, definitely punishment.
Kayla, what do you see the role of prison being?
All I say is you're in there for a reason, so I don't have to complain about it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there should be rehabilitation in prison?
They should help you in there, yeah. They shouldn't just leave you in there, like, to figure it out once you get out.
Tamara, what do you see the role of prison being?
It's sort of, I can understand the idea, you know, but when it's much better if they can help themselves as juvenile than to go to adults and then just go and sit in there, and then you get out and it's so much difficult for you to get back on a stable level with, you know, in just basic life and living again.
Dave Parsons, what do you reckon? What do you reckon the role of prison is?
I reckon it's just punishment. I think for first-time offenders, they use it as a punishment, and then for re-offenders, they just like to just keep throwing them back inside. Just with election campaigns and things like that, if they're locking up more people, they look like they're being tougher on crime.
Marcus, what do you reckon?
I think it makes society feel a lot better, knowing that people are off the streets. But I don't think jail works by itself. You need to have other outlets of options and rehabilitation to help people.
Adrian, what do you reckon?
Well, instead of locking them up, I think they should, like, push them to go to rehab, you know, enforce an order before you're 18 to actually push them into rehab instead of lock up, and maybe they might not come back when they're a bit older.
Of course, our victims of crime have very strong opinions on the issue of the role of prison, and one of those people is Nick, who was recently a victim of an armed hold-up.
My name is Nick, I'm 21, and I'm a victim of a hold-up. I work in a convenience store so I can save up for uni. Late one night, at around 11, 3 guys with masks, 2 of them with shotguns. One of them put a shotgun on my head and said, "Open the door or I'll blow your head." I was freaking out. I honestly thought I was gonna die. They made me open the registers. They threatened me not to go to the cops, and on the way out, they stole the cigarettes. It happened really fast. After I gave my statement to the police, the boss sent me home, gave me a week off. I never thought it was going to happen to me. I worry about every customer, and I watch my back. I've got mates in similar jobs. They've been held up 2 or 3 times as well. They haven't caught the guys yet. I reckon they should get 2 years. There should be some kind of criminal justice system in place. But will they do? Let the criminals roam free on the streets?